Hello, everyone. This is William Armstrong. This is an article on LebanonLive.com, and I wanted to explain and give a disclaimer that this is going to talk about shoplifters and the fact that shoplifters are getting more brazen and more violent. I'm only going to read a skim. I'm going to skim read this article a little bit, not read it in full, but it's on the 11 Live homepage. It says a 66-year-old Home Depot employee severely injured by shoplifters in Gwinnett County. Retailers nationwide report that not only that are they combating more and more retail thefts, but shoplifters are becoming more violent. The author is John Shirek, published by John Shirek as of 9:21 a.m. Eastern Time, September 29th, and updated at 12:12 p.m. Eastern Time, September 29th. So it's updated and published the same day, except it's published at 9 a.m. and then updated at 12 noon, 12 minutes after 12 in the afternoon, which was yesterday. Gwinnett County, Georgia. Retailers across the country in a nonstop battle to trying to stop shoplifters who are part of an explosion of retail theft said the shoplifters are becoming more brazen and more violent. Case in point, in Gwinnett County a week ago, authorities said it was potentially a fatal attack on the Home Depot on Jimmy Carter Boulevard in Norcross area on September 23rd. Before I continue, shoplifting is really a bad thing because obviously shoplifting is horrible, and the fact that if you walk into any store and steal something, you're in trouble immediately. That the shoplifting charges vary on if it's an item that is like less than $500 or if it's above $500, but it varies. I repeat, I'm no lawyer. I'm no lawyer at all. I'm not. I just happened to learn about what shoplifting is just by at least looking it up online to see what happens when people go in the store and steal. It says here, the Gwinnett County Police Department said that around 1 p.m. on Saturday, four shoplifters not only ran off with hundreds of dollars worth of power tools, but they also attacked a 66-year-old employee, knocking him over and inflicting a severe head injury. And that's in line with a frightening trend. Gwinnett County Police released photos Thursday of four people that they're trying to find, two men and two teens, a boy and a girl. Okay. These are the two men and two teens, a boy and a girl, and I don't know how old, but I'm assuming that they've got to be at least 13 or 19, anywhere between 13 or 17 to, or at least 16 to 19 years old, anywhere for the two on the right. But the two men on the left appear to be adults that just run into the Home Depot and started beating up the the 66-year-old man, and they decided to beat up the 66-year-old and deliberately drag in two other teens. It doesn't say if it's a man or a woman, but if the 66-year-old is a man or a woman, it didn't say that specifically. It just says the 66-year-old employee was basically knocked over and beaten, which I don't get why would shoplifting suspects go to that lengths to beat someone in a store, beat anybody that tries to stop a shoplifting attempt. They just went up to that person and just started beating the crap out of him, causing head injuries and be in the hospital for a couple of days. Okay. Police Corporal Ryan Winderweedle said Thursday that they all got away in a dark gray Chrysler 300. It appeared to be a coordinated effort amongst these individuals, Winderweedle said. And during the process, when an employee attempted to intervene or stop them, they assaulted the employee and caused an injury that resulted in them being sent to the hospital for a couple of days. Shoplifters across the country have become more violent in just the past years. They grab and run, according to a report from the National Retail Federation. The Retail Industry Leaders Association has been compiling videos of the attacks, documenting the case after case of shoplifters assaulting anyone in their way. Within the past year in Metro Atlanta, police reported that the shoplifters actually set fire to three big box stores, two Walmarts, and a Target to distract store security officers from catching them and stealing merchandise. I want to say that these shoplifters are getting more brazen and violent by the minute, and shoplifters within the past year in Atlanta, Georgia, they decided to set fire to two Walmarts and a Target to really distract store officers from catching them and stealing merchandise, which is not a good idea to be doing any of that. That any shoplifter that says to set fire or and steal from a store, that's basically you're facing arson and burglary or robbery or shoplifting charges and arson charges too for doing that. So you're facing both arson and shoplifting charges from that, from committing two crimes really quickly. So doing arson and shoplifting is a double charge on the individuals involved, results in a double slap from justice. Target announced that it's closing the 9 stores nationwide in high crime areas. Home Depot and other retailers work with law enforcement and lawmakers to combat organized crime, retail crime. There's a statement down below if you want to pause and read it. I'm not going to read it. Hold on. Down below, I'm going to say here it says Gwinnett County detectives are asking for the public's help in this most recent case, asking anyone with information to contact police before the shoplifter struck again and possibly attack someone else. Let me show you another thing. This lady I wanted to talk about here, called Doris Marie Payne, born October 10th, 1930, is an American convicted jewel thief. Basically, Doris Payne is a lady that was born October 10th, 1930, age 92, and she was born in Slabbport, West Virginia, and she was a jewel thief who was convicted in January 2011 for theft, 5 years imprisonment. She had a whole life, decade of her stealing jewelry things such as earrings, necklaces, and things like that. And this lady has been talked about famously on the internet. And basically, she's had this habit of shoplifting. She's a career criminal, stealing diamond rings valued at $5,000 US from Monte Carlo in the 1970s. Basically, she's done a lot of criminal stealing of jewelry items over 6 decades, and she basically fled the country from America to France, but she got detained in Nice, France, and later extradited back to Monte Carlo. It's either Nice or Nice, but let me see how I pronounce that. It's Nice. So it's Nice, France that she fled to, and she was sent back to Monte Carlo, where she was held for 9 months for being released as the Monégasque authorities were unable to locate the stolen gem. Payne was arrested in Ohio in the 1980s after she escaped from federal custody during a hospital visit. So this lady, Doris Payne, has committed a lot of jewelry theft as a career criminal. In 2015, she was caught stealing Christian Dior earrings valued at $690 in her pocket at Atlanta, Georgia's Saks Fifth Avenue store. She was arrested charged with shoplifting by officers from the Atlanta Police Department. She's used 20 aliases and at least 10 social security numbers and at least 9 dates of birth to do that. So she used over 10 social security numbers and 9 dates of birth and 20 aliases to avoid getting caught. This lady has had a bad habit of basically living a life in crime, of stealing jewelry all her life, and she's had over 6 decades worth of theft. It's appalling to me that this lady, Doris Payne, is a career thief of stealing jewels a lot, when she should know that stealing jewels will get you a life of crime, but she's a kleptomaniac that couldn't stop stealing. And she's 92 years old, but born on October 10th, 1930. That's like 6 decades ago. So, yikes. There is a documentary of her, about her decades of crime. Things like that. But this is William Armstrong signing out, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.